environmental health, and hazard risk assessment. Definitions. Define hazard, risk, failure, and reliability are interrelated concepts concerned with uncertain events and therefore amenable to quantitative measurement via probability. Hazard is generally defined as a potentially dangerous event, for example, the release of toxic fumes, a power outage, or pump failure. The potential danger represented by a hazard results in undesirable consequences associated with risk. Define risk. Risk is defined as the product of two factors: 1, the probability of an undesirable event, and 2, the measured consequences of the undesirable event. Measured consequences may be stated in terms of financial loss, injuries, deaths, or other variables. Define failure. Failure represents an inability to perform some required function. Define reliability. Solution reliability is the probability that a system or one of its components will perform its intended function under certain conditions for a specified period. The reliability of a system and its probability of failure are complementary in the sense that the sum of these two probabilities is unity. Define health risk characterization. In health risk characterization, toxicology and exposure data information are combined to obtain a qualitative or quantitative expression of risk. Define comparative risk assessment. Comparative risk assessment is the comparison of potential risks associated with a variety of activities and situations so that a specific action can be placed in perspective relative to other risks. An attempt is often made to compare an individual's risk of death or cancer from exposure to a hazardous waste site with that associated with traveling in an automobile or eating a peanut butter sandwich. Both of these latter events have relatively high risks but are perceived by the public to have a relatively low risk when compared to the risk of a hazardous waste site. Define an accident. An accident is an unexpected event that has undesirable consequences and can be quantitatively described through a HZRA. The causes of accidents have to be identified in order to help prevent accidents from occurring. Any situation or characteristic of a system, plant, or process that has the potential to cause damage to life, property, or the environment is considered a hazard. A hazard can also be defined as any characteristic that has the potential to cause an accident.